Good afternoon to one and all present here. My name is Sejal Jain. I'm representing Group 1. My group members are Adit Parashar, Akansha Wankhede, Apurva, Ashish, and Meghna. So, on behalf of my team, I pay my sincere gratitude for providing us this wonderful case and opportunity to present it. Akansha, next slide, please. In order to know a case better, we should know the industry and company well. So, let's talk about insurance industry. Insurance industry consists of 57 companies in which 24 deals with life insurance business. Insurance industry is a highly regulated market regulated by Insurance Regulatory and Department Authority of India. Now let's talk about India First Life Insurance. It is a company which was incorporated on November 2009. Which is headquartered in Mumbai. It is a joint venture of Bank of Baroda, which shares 44%, Andhra Bank, which shares 30%, and UK-based legal and investment financial services, which is share of 26%. And I would also like to mention that IFLI was ranked 19th in fiscal year 14 to 15 and jumped to rank 13 in fiscal year 15 to 16. I would also like to introduce some of the key players. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I would like to mention some key members who are playing vital role in this case. That is, first member is Vishakha Maheshwari, Managing Director and CEO, Praveen Menon, Chief People Officer, Kasturba Parkar, who is Head of Talent Management, and the team referred as CST, Competency Systems Team. Akansha, next slide, please. Now let's talk about bank insurance model. The name itself suggests that it is a combination of two things, bank and insurance. So that states the relationship that the insurance products are firstly sold to the existing customer of bank. Next slide, please. We can accomplish any goal that we set for our company. To put some light on the statement, I would like to invite Adit on the e-dais.
Yes.
Vision IFLI introduce a vision theme securing life and creating value. Maheshwari joined IFLI on the March 2015 as MD and CEO, and to help and understand the vision of to understand and contribute Vision 2020. And organization value things that do more, be more, be honest, and be helpful for the employees. What is Vision 2020? Vision 2020 was to be the largest insurance provider in the country, and to be the among top 5 insurance company by 2020. And defining by this they defining a new role of the existing employees, and completing completing complete diagnosis and developing list of competences. Next slide, Anshika. Yeah. Employees as a differentiator, to focus on the employees who could generate more continuous work and innovation. They plan to do this operation and to make employees to be bedrock innovation by selling the services to insurance product, by selling the insurance product. Next, I will like to call upon Meghna.
Thank you, Aditya. I would like to talk about competency mapping and career progression. As Maheshwari's vision and Menon's thoughts on using the existing employees for the achievement of the Vision 2020 led to the formation of CST. CST refers to Competency System Team. CST CST clearly mentioned and listed the competencies that were required by the employees to perform their job roles at all the levels of the organization. Competency mapping. Competency mapping is a process uh, through which the strengths and weaknesses of an individual can be determined, and it also helps an individual to enable to point out the direction in which their efforts should be directed. Therefore, CSC started mapping the employees' work and listing the expectations of the company from the employees and the technical and behavior related skills required by the employees for fulfilling those expectations. After defining the required competencies, two questions were raised by Mr. Menon. What if the employees already possess the competencies that are required for doing their job roles? How is IFLI going to reward them? And what if employees do not possess the required competencies? Then how are they going to develop those skills in employees, and how are they going to um, monitor them? Then Mr. Menon shared his idea of competency mapping with Costo Parker, who was the head of talent management at IFLI. Parker told Menon that previously he has noticed that whenever any employee is being promoted in the company, he tends to fail in his new job role, as while promoting that employees the required competencies and skills uh, in their new job roles are not taken into consideration. Therefore, for achieving their goal, their Vision 2020, what they can do is they can link the required competencies with the promotion policy, so that skills can be developed into the employees. Menon also discussed with Parker about the new employees career progression policy, which was based on the principle of pay for performance and promotion for potential. In this policy, employees will be rewarded for their performances and good work that they have done in their current working roles. And while promoting employees, they will be evaluated on the basis of the following criteria. First, the length of the time they have been working in their current role. Second, on the basis of their performance in their current job roles, and on the basis of the whether they possess the uh, competencies and skills for performing the new job roles for which they will be promoted. Now over to Akansha.
Thank you, Meghna. Now, I would like to take forward from here, talking about behavioral competencies. So, as we are talking about the behavioral competencies, I would like to first start by telling that until 2015, uh, Mr. Menon, in the company IFLI, there were four bands. The organizational structure was divided into four bands, which were organizational, tactical, strategical, and leadership. After that, Mr. Menon decided to classify these bands into eight different functional areas, like operations, marketing, sales, and etc. And taking forward from here, Mr. Menon took a meeting with the competency system team, along with all the functional heads of these eight functional areas, to discuss about different competencies that was required by the employees as behavioral indicators. So from here, the Mr. Menon and also the competency system team, they wanted to know about the employees' performance, and the major concern about the employees were that, first of all, that if whether the employees were successful in their job, and if they were, then what actually they did to make their jobs and roles successful. So for this, they what they did was they gathered the information and records and data of previous years of all the employees to know their status, and they also held a meeting with the human capital team. So after this, what the human capital team did was they outlined various competencies, behavioral competencies, which was required and which was to be constant for the employees, and the performance, which was the performance evaluator, the major role was played by performance management system, who were to capture the performances of the employees. So next, what Mr. Menon did, he adopted a development approach. So in development approach, he discussed with both Mr. Parker and the MD and CEO, Ms. Maheshwari, that through developmental approach, since he knew that the process which they are into, the employees will be filtered through this process according to their performances, whether they were good, whether they were average, whether they were best, or whether they need improvement. So despite knowing all these things, he took a developmental approach, and he talked to Mr. Parker and Ms. Maheshwari about these competencies and how the behaviors could be derived from these competencies derived from the employees to exhibit their behaviors with their colleagues, with their superiors, or with their subordinates. And also the main role of institutional building capability, since it was very crucial, it was given to the leadership band. Why it was given to the leadership band? Because the main agenda was to enhance the capabilities of employees and to sustain their efficiency. So this job could not have been done better other than the leadership band. So yeah, so this is the organizational structure, which were the bands that were divided, the 4 bands, which was until 2015, which is given in Exhibit 1. Next is this is Exhibit 2, which explains the organizational bands and behavioral capabilities at IFLI, which I would like to invite Sejal to explain these capabilities. Sejal, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Akansha. So let's start from downside up. Leadership. Leadership is most important function or band of any organization, because a leader envisions and then they foster collaborations to link the individual interest to general interest, and they also tend to build. Am I audible?
Yes,
and they also tend to build an institution which is a great place to work, because if an employee would love to work, he would obviously attain the targets. Second comes to strategic. Now strategic orientation is very necessary, so he should identify the important factors also in complex situations. He should develop a strategic band, should develop others in order that they can invest their capabilities into the strategy, and then impact and influence, the power to convince others. Now third comes to tactical. Analytical thinking, to analyze They should cut the problems into small pieces and then analyze and take initiative so that the challenge can also be converted into opportunities. Last but not the least is operational. They plan and organize according to the envisioning, and then they achieve that with effective communication to the workforce. Thank you. Now over to you, Akansha.
Thank you, Sejal. Now, I would like to continue by explaining the balancing and reinforcing the competencies. Now, until 2015, the IFLI company had the bell curve system, which is actually a ranking tool which was used in the company, which is it is called bell curve because it is a graphical, the representation was graphical in a bell structure, which was ranking the employees into major three categories, that was bad, mediocre, best, mediocre, and worst. So from that, Mr. Menon shifted to balance scorecard tool, which was basically a tool to track the performances and the activities of employees. And the major advantage of adopting this tool was they were consistently, like, they had they had a meeting thrice a year. Before the final meeting, they had the feedback. The meeting was like a feedback session. They generally they basically took feedbacks from the employees, and also to let them know where they actually stand, where to make them more familiar about what performance is, about how they are performing, whether it is good, whether it is average, and whether there is a need for improvement. So yeah, and the employees, after this, the employees were categorized on the basis of their performance into three brackets, which were obviously growth, ACE, and development. Growth, as you all can see, was for the employees who performed jobs as instructed. ACE, where the employees performed beyond as it was expected, and development, who did not perform the job as it was instructed. Now, what after that? Mr. Menon decided to link the performance management system with the learning and development team, or capability development team, as we can say, to identify the need for different competencies which is required by the employees. Now, to look upon the challenges which the employees were facing, basically in the development quadrant, there was a human capital team which intervened into it and saw what can be done to improve the development quadrant employees, and to see how these challenges can be met in the future. And this exercise was referred to as capability development exercise by the learning and development program or intervention. And because of this, there were several, 27 to be specific, programs which was introduced by Mr. Menon to develop the capabilities of employees. And the 27 programs which was introduced by Mr. Menon was for all the employees, and the employees were supposed to join these and sign up for this program for at least one of them. Also it was specific that the particular band, the employees which were under the particular band are supposed to sign up for the particular band only, and then they have to they have to first take sort of permission from their supervisors or the functional heads, and then they had to approve for their programs. So these programs were basically for the ones who are facing challenges, and these programs which is given in Exhibit 3, they were for the ones who were lacking in any sort of or facing any challenges, like if a person, if an employee is facing a communication a problem in a communication skill, he can sign up for a particular program, and so on. Now I would like to continue from communicating competency framework. To gain, it was basically to gain the feedback from the employees. The case is very specific about the two-way communication. Why? Because when once all the roles and responsibilities and competencies are set for the employees, it is very necessary for the company or the supervisors to be transparent with all the employees, to let them know what we are actually what actually the process, and what will the company actually go through to achieve a particular role, or in this case Vision 2020. They were to tell all the employees the competencies that they have discussed so far to the employees, and they also wanted employees to put their input as well, to in the form of feedback, if they are on the same page, if they want any change in the competencies, whether they are okay with it or not. And for that, the supervisor, or Mr. Menon, shared this view with the leadership team of IFLI, which was Think First team, which was the structure which started from the deputy vice president and above, and it was basically to finalize the strategic goal which the company or the supervisors has set. Also, they met twice a year to discuss all these goals, and only after the Think First team gave their green signal to these goals and competencies, then only they have to move forward with the employees to implement these competencies or goals. Now I would like to call Apurva to move forward with the challenges.
You have only 2 minutes to conclude your presentation. You're already 23 minutes into your presentation. So I want you to speed up the presentation.
If we talk about challenges, as we know, there were two people, Mr. Manon and Mr. Parker, formed up an idea of employees as differentiators, and their idea to roll out new competency framework and link it to PMS, that is a performance management system. This would be the first time they make such an idea for entire company. In this, they also concerned because they were not sure how they communicate to 1400 employees about this new competency framework, and wondered about this competency framework, and linking it to PMS was their right decision or not. That's all from our side, ma'am. Thank you.
On behalf of Group 1, we would like to thank all for your attention.